Hi there, everybody on the internet. How are you doing today? We're gonna have a little fun. I have an extra long day off. Ladies working Mother's Day weekend, so um, I've got the house to myself, and I figure out what am I gonna do? I'm gonna play some video games. And so, as I was thinking about that, and as I was sipping coffee, it came to me. One of the best scenes in Don't Be a Menace to Society while drinking your juice in the hood was when he matched up his AK with his bunny slippers, or his bazooka with his Converse. So, while I play video games, I like to pair my game with my controller. It's one of my things. Like, easy one on the Switch, fighting games. Well, the Smash Brothers. When you play your Mortal Kombat, and I just saw it in the shop, we're getting our Aftermath upgrade. That's going to be fantastic. I like to play with my new modified wireless Power A GameCube controller. I say modified because it has two. If you've never seen that. See that extra little paddle? Alright. Now, I also like to, since I'm recommending games, which I give Mortal Kombat, as long as you got some space, it takes about 20 gigs on your system, I do recommend Mortal Kombat. The gameplay is pretty tight. The quality of visuals and movement is smooth and vibrant. It's a little bit brighter than the others, which I appreciate because I like to take it out and about. Usually when you're on the consoles, you're not going outside. So yeah, I'd recommend that. And with its counterpart, since, I don't know, cool little theme we can do here. An obscure one. Under Night and Birth Control R. EXE. Late. I don't know. But if you like Japanese gaming and you like fighting, it's complex. Multi-mental model thinking goes into this crazy interface. It's a great fighting game. Very, very wordy, a lot of talking. They do it between every 2 matches, which is nice. I gotta say, they do it in Mortal Kombat, so it's a little different kind of conversation they have. But the menu screen, I still don't even know how to just play the game. You just want to play some arcade. Now, one of my fan favorites of the Switch is the fact that I can recreate much of my childhood. Give it to my children. It's cartridge based, so you don't have to worry about what's called disc rot. Disc rot? I say it twice because it's that scary. It's when little pits and holes in your aluminum or whatever shiny metallic thing that's on your discs, it goes through. So the laser just shoots through a hole, which totally destroys your game. So I appreciate the switches on cartridge, and that's why I'm forever physical with these ones. But a lot of them are downloads, which really, Nintendo is great about letting you swap memory cards and moving memory between systems. Not necessarily save games, that's on the system. You know that's locked down pretty tight. But like if you downloaded an update, you can pretty much take that memory card and put it into another console and put your game in there, and it plays pretty well. So, and I've also taken off of my memory card onto a hard drive and put back onto a bigger, like 3 times. I have a 400 gig, and start out with that. Started out with like 128, 256, and 400. Still going strong. So when it comes to Forever Physical, one of the best genres is the retro gaming because the games are so small. One thing that I missed, and I'm glad I really did miss it because I am kind of a collector, is the little retro systems. I've decided to not collect a bunch of retro systems and hang them all over the place. I do have the small little PlayStation one. It just holds a place in my heart. So when the Atari, the Genesis, and the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo minis came out, the Nintendo ones are a little bit harder, but I've made modifications so that I can play on various sources Nintendo games. That's old school. People have gone to jail for that. When it comes to the Atari, that's a little bit harder to find that little mini console nowadays, especially for a good price. But they launched 150 games on the Switch when it first came out. This is kind of hard to find, but 150 games solidly displaced onto one cartridge. There's no downloading, no internet needed, just put it in and play it. It's got classics from Missile Command, Centipede, Tempest, Yars, Circus, Major Havoc, Crystal Castles. It's the 5200, the 2600, and Arcade. So it says 150, but keep in mind if that game was on 3, the 26, 52, and Arcade, yeah, that's 3 for 1. Now, what kind of controller do you play with that? I've got you. I highly recommend the 8BitDo Super Nintendo style Pro Controller. This little guy is not only USB-C, which is quite a convenience when charging off of your Switch. Dual paddles. You got your paddles and your triggers. You've got everything that a Super Nintendo controller would have, the feel, the love, and then you have 2 clickable analog sticks. This is actually my wife's favorite controller, and I love it. I have this in the Super Famicom style. If I'm wrong, and this is the American style, please let me know in the post. Then I don't have this controller, so maybe if I get pretty good with my my post-production, I can put a picture. That's why I kind of left this little area. And it will be for the Genesis collection. So I do have, because Limited Run did post, this one of my last Limited Run orders, I gotta start concentrating on paying bills. Panzer Dragoon comes in the Saturn case, and then my Streets of Rage I had to get, because this has Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3. Now 1 and 3 I can live without, 2 not so much, and 4 I heard is fantastic, utterly. With that, I got the Jenny controller with the 4 or the 6 buttons and the Bluetooth adapter, so I can put it on my Tower of Power. Yes, I do have that. This is very close to right here. Not Silent Hill, my heart. So in this one, of course, we've got Alex Kidd. Where's some Altered Beast, of course. Okay, columns 1 and 3, but not columns 2. So if you ever watched a movie in like the 80s and 90s called House, you could watch House the sequel, and then House 4. Same principle here. You can play columns and you can play columns 3. But if you like columns 2, you're going to have to go get to your local retro store. Comic Zone, which is fantastic. The Mean Bean Machine, of course. We just love saying that one. Some of these other ones, Golden Axe, Golden Axe 2, Golden Axe 3. See, they did keep them because you've got Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3. The Shinobis are scattered, but it does have Shining Force 1, 2, and 3, and Sonic 3D Blast. It's just a classic. Like, over 50 games. I'm not even playing this. You should have it. I'm also going to try to, while I'm talking, put some video up of like the interface and the little video that opens this thing up. Yeah, and you can rewind. I have it in the Catho-Raid look with the scan lines. It's just beautiful. So I would highly recommend that. And this one gets a little bit harder, but 8BitDo puts out a lot of controllers. I would highly recommend a retro controller for these. Or get the Jenny controller. It's Bluetooth. It works with the console, and if you get the little $20 dongle, it'll work on your Tower of Power. Okay, so these are a couple of throw-ins since I've already talked about the fighting games and the retro games. This is like a mashup in between. You can use any controller. Any controller. It just needs enough buttons. I wasn't really going to show this one off until I get my version from France, from Pixlove. Supposedly the the shipment has been delayed, so I was supposed to get in April. It's now May 9th, and I haven't gotten my second one of these, but I guess there's like 8. If you've ever spent time in an arcade, yes, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, right on, you guys are cool. This was it. When you heard the little do, and then you turn around and it's just homie sitting in school. Can you say that anymore? Sitting with his legs crossed. And then he just boom, boom, cuts down 2 trees. The cherry blossoms. Samurai Showdown. This is the new upgraded version. I got the one from France because it has a physical copy. And once I get that, I promise I'll open both of these up. You can see what it's like in Japan and what it's like in France. This is the box and the cover I'm probably going to keep because it is straight Nihongo. But the copy of the Neo Geo Samurai Showdown Pocket 2, I said that in a complete wrong order, came in a digital code. The French one has a physical copy inside, so I'm excited about that. We'll play that up. And then, of course, everybody's seen me excited about this. I will open this one day. I did find out that the corner has already been opened, so the value of this has already been. So let me find a little plastic so I can put around, like one of those little acrylics, so I can cover this box, because it is a big box, and I'm from the Sam & Max days. I'm from the Gabriel Knight. To have a box this big for my game makes me very happy. So those are the 2 that I kind of just added into the video, because I've got one more collection to match. And I thought those are very important mentions. I don't know if anybody can notice if this has better video quality. Let me know in the comments. If you like this, this is a different kind of camera I'm using. Alright, now, this one's a little late because we have to get back to the real world and we have to get back to our jobs and 40 hours a week. Don't really have time, but I know you all are making time for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Well, I have it too. I haven't gone very far in it. Because I still have the original. Now, this is very hard to get in America, so do your best. It's out there in the world. This is 7 and 8, and it is so well put together. It even loads multiple slots on your console, so it seems like it's 2 different cartridges. There is no downloading. This is load and play. And I do rock the remake, but nothing is better than Shannara in 16-bit. 32, I think, is PlayStation. Now, should I do the controller or because this is very important. This controller makes or breaks this game. Wii U. Now, the reason this controller is fantastic is the placement of the analog. So if you see how you lay your hands, especially if you have big hands, it feels comfortable, and it's the 2 analogs on top. And then if you want to go to the old school, just straight D-pad, D buttons, they're on the bottom. You separate yourself completely. It's the separation that no other controller has. Even the PlayStation, I know what you're saying, these were down here. Being down here, it's not the comfort zone. Up here, you're relaxed, you just move and you look around. This is great for first-person shooters and Final Fantasy. Now, this is also a special one. There is no downloading on this one. If you get the American version, there will be a download that needs to be for X2, and I think there's one other DLC. 2 large files will have to be downloaded. If you find this from Asia, you can actually have I think this is a 32 gig cartridge. The rumor, there's also a rumor of a 64, but yes, this, when you're moving and when you're navigating, just relaxing. You have 300 hours. you might as well relax. And then once you get done with that, you got X2. I hope that was fun. I'm probably gonna do more, so don't be surprised if you see something else pop up, but if not, I'll see you next time. And yeah, comment, say hi, have a wonderful day, and happy Mother's Day to all those wonderful mothers out there. Bye. Good morning, everybody. A little bit of coffee talk. This section of the video brought to you by Shit Coffee. Shit Coffee, what you need to get you up in the morning. I want to give a shout out to one of my buddies on the YouTubes. He's a Retro J Gamer. He's got Retro J Gaming on YouTube. Please look it up, subscribe, be his friend. He's cool as hell. But in a video before the last one, I hope I'm in chronological order, because it had Turok. And I had to brag, because this guy is like a god. So I guess his brother got him Turok. And I want to give him a shout out because that also inspired me. This was from Retro J Gaming, and it's a Hyperkin. He hooked a friend up. We've grown back probably about a good decade. And I got an adapter for it, but just this part. Yeah, Nintendo 64 Retrokin Switch. Switchable dock. It's fantastic, and thank you. So I want everybody on the internet to subscribe to him, monetize him, get that man, get on his page. So then I started upgrading, I guess, or adding to this. So you've got the Nintendo 64, and this will all come full circle. The Hyperkin adjoining Nintendo 64 controller adapter. We've seen that in previous videos. I also always recommend using the Nintendo official power distribution block. Please, please, please. Because this is not a Nintendo dock. I have another smaller dock that I butchered one official dock to make so that I don't ever have to worry about the black screen brick of death that is ever so common in the first year. But all of this, I pay homage to this wonderful man, because I also got that Turok. I got it from the limited run, so it's in the dual sleeve. I did the same thing. Open, not open. I'm on like level 4. But you gotta bring me on. When it comes to Switch, I don't mess around. So maybe this could be a plea. Let's do a little interview. Let's do a little one-on-one. You bring your system, I'll bring mine. I love you, man. Alright, this should just be a section of the adjoining video at the very end, kind of like a bloopers reel, but thank you for watching.